Welcome to Module 10 of the Facebook Advertising System. This is Bob the teacher, the marketing educator here at Leadpages, and it's no secret that I'm a numbers geek. As I showed you in the last module, knowing your numbers will ensure your long-term success with Facebook advertising is strong. To help bring this point home, I want to introduce you to James Grandstaff, a leading authority on Facebook campaigns and Leadpages power user. James takes his understanding of the numbers to create profitable campaigns for himself and his clients. And I want to dig deeper into one of his campaigns to help you shorten your trial and error period. James, welcome to the training. Hey James, thanks so much for joining me on this module of the Facebook Advertising System.
You got it, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I really appreciate you opening up the curtain here and showing us inside of your Facebook campaigns and what you're doing. What we're seeing is the last week or so. And I just love the opportunity to pick your brain a little bit about what's going on with your Facebook campaigns. What's the strategy that you're doing? You've been doing this for a long time, and I really enjoy that you're sharing this with everybody.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm excited.
So before we get started, tell us a little bit about your role in the world of marketing and how you started getting into Facebook marketing in the first place.
Yeah, well, I've been marketing online since started in 2001. Similar story to a lot of people. Failed a lot, and finally figured some things out. And then for me, it was real simple. Each time I had a small success, I was taught by a mentor when I first started that to build on each success and just kind of continue instead of trying to reinvent everything each and every time, just to build on each success and then to continue that whole process. And it wasn't until recently, I'd say about 2010, is really when I started with Facebook ads. I didn't take my mentor's advice. I actually went in a completely different direction because I was doing the affiliate launches, and really I was looking, the launch model was my thing because that's what I learned first when I first came online. Once Facebook ads started to pop up, it was really about 2010 that I created a Facebook marketing product. It was a Facebook app. That's when I fell in love with the whole Facebook marketing stuff. It was like a direct response marketer's dream to be able to put an ad in front of a very tightly focused, targeted audience. So I created a funnel. It was pretty successful. And then, as you know, I hooked up with Brian Moran a couple of years ago, and he pulled me out of what I was doing to come help him with his Facebook ads. Just been doing this ever since, just helping people with Facebook ads. I love it. I love the numbers. And I know it's not for everybody, but the numbers is my thing, and I'm really enjoying everything I'm doing, helping people.
Yeah, and I can't wait to geek out on these numbers with you. And you and I have known each other since 2006. When I first got started, I got to get to know you through a mentoring program. Being able to see your progress as you've gone from information products to software and then now to Facebook marketing, it's all tied together really tightly in what you've learned and who you've learned from. And from a lot of trial and error, a lot of practice.
Yes.
Being down and dirty in the trenches. So I really appreciate you paving the way, clearing the pathway for a lot of the folks who are watching this module today. So with that in mind, let's talk a little bit about what you're seeing in your advertising campaigns that have perhaps surprised you, and what you're using as your standard beginning point with your ongoing ads. Because what I want to do with this course is to give people the opportunity to skip that learning curve as much as possible, to skip a lot of that trial and error, and start with what's working and then test out what will work further for them. Walk us through a little bit of your thought process when it comes to creating an ad set. We're not going to talk about how to create that ad set. What are you trying to do? What are you first thinking about as you decide, I'm going to make an ad about X, and it's going to be involving these elements? What are some of those elements that you want to consider?
There's a few things. The first thing I want to consider, of course, is the audiences, who I am targeting. So like, as you can see on the screen right here, each individual one, like you see right here, it says M is for male. So we have male power editor, we have female power editor. So the very first thing is I think about the groups that I can find and target on Facebook that would be most interested in what I'm offering. In this case, it is a information product that reveals some of the retargeting ads that I've had success with myself and with clients. So I go over here and I go, all right, well, Power Editor, if someone's using the Power Editor, that means they're using Facebook ads. They might be interested in taking a look at, some of the results that I've gotten. And that one actually worked out pretty good. This was actually one of my highest converting ones so far. And then I just kind of down the line, Amy Porterfield her audience might be interested, Frank Kern, Perry Marshall, James Wedmore, and so on. So what you're seeing me do here is organizing everything so that I want to find the winners. Okay, so instead of bulking all of these into one pool, I separate all of them into each individual ad set. And the numbers just reveal all. If you just look right here, we've had 50 conversions for the Mail Power Editor at $2.89. Now, a conversion is a mixture of email leads and actual sales, so actual customers. But they're all different. Some of them, like $2.89 is really low. Then down here we have, let's see, $11.75. So if you bulk all of this together, you don't really know which ones are the really good ones that are really profitable. So I always start with that. So who's the audience that I can target? The next thing that's really important is to test a headline. So I'll create, for each individual one here, we have Power Editor, male, female. I'll create 3 ads. Everything will be the same except the copy. So we're talking the headline might be different, or the text post, depending on how I feel about it. Like if I dig into here, I'll just show you this one real quick. So here's 3 ads. I've already done the testing on this one, so the headline here is not changed. All of these ads are the same in terms of the copy, the text, the images are different. So once I found the winning headline, which was really just this question right here, then I went in and created 3 images. All of these actually create really different results too. You can notice the click-through rate, 2.5% for this ad versus 0.5 and then 0.3 for this ad. So the same copy. The copy's the same, but this one right here is really grabbing people's attention. It could be because there's red in it, who knows why, but so I always start with testing the headlines, ad sets first, then testing the headlines, and then I go in and start testing the different images.
Awesome. So let's talk about this question real quick for the copy. You may not have this to pull up right now, but what did you see, if anything, of a pattern that has led you to think, in this particular case, a question is the one that is the winner? What other types of statements or length of copy, because this seems like a pretty short sentence as well, what about this have you discovered so that when you start making a new ad, you would use something similar?
I model. I'm a great modeler. So if I see something on Facebook that I think is working or it really catches my attention, I test it immediately. And that's what you're seeing here. I saw an ad like this popping up all the time, and I'm like, you know what, let me try that. Let's see if I can come up with a question. This is kind of getting off track a little bit here, but the feedback that you get after you run ads for a while, you get feedback from the audience. You'll see them leaving comments, liking your page or not liking your page or your ad. And I've found after spending, $1 million on ads with Brian Moran, and then just recently trying this angle, that the question, there's hardly any negativity in the comments. I'm not like a psychology expert here, but there's something going on here that is really working well when you ask a question versus like make a statement. The real purpose of this one, any question won't work. It has to be a question that the answer that you want them to come up with in their head is a yes. You wouldn't want to ask them a question that their initial answer is going to be no. So if you get your targeting right, which I think I have done here, want to see the FB ad strategy that can boost your profits by 70%. Well, yeah, if I'm using the Power Editor or I'm in one of these other interests, yeah, I'm going to want to see that.
I love the idea, first of all, that you are making it easy for you to review your numbers based on naming your ad sets by the audience that you're targeting. And I love that you're giving the opportunity for people to answer a question that's a yes. On occasion, people will take that information and say, oh, I should ask a question. And the question is something like, what are the 3 secrets to success in dating? As opposed to, do you finally want to have a second date? There's a difference between what the open loop is for that conversation. Go ahead and open that one of those ad sets up again. I also love that you have very short copy underneath of your picture, because that's also testable. You have a if-then question, so if it's a yes, then watch this 4-minute video, and then no email required, I think is very powerful. So talk to us a little bit about what has gone into that particular languaging on your testing.
Again, just back to reading copywriting books, the if-then statement is really short and punchy, and it just seems to work. So, and again, on Facebook, people are busy. You don't have time to put a lot of copy, and it's got to just be really crystal clear. The reason I think this works so well is that if they only see the headline that says, then watch this 4-minute video, they only have part of the story. So they're going to go up and then read the post text, which asks the question. If they see the question first, then of course their eyes are going to be drawn down and they're going to read the headline. I only have numbers to back up that it's working, but I think that has a lot to do with it.
One of my last questions about this particular ad set is you have 1 like and 3 comments, and obviously different types of ads you'll have perhaps 100 likes and no comments, or 100 comments and no likes. How much do you pay attention to those comments as they're coming in? Because I've seen some ads that run and they just get a massive amount of Facebook trolls that both post positive and negative things or try to hijack their threads.
Well, whenever I get a notification and it'll say so-and-so commented on, such and such ad, because I have so many ad sets and there's so many ads, I have to kind of track it down and chase down that ad. I'll go in there and I monitor that and either reply. If it's a troll, then of course I just delete it and, ban that person. But yeah, I definitely pay attention to that because like you said, sometimes I've seen ads run so long and there's like hundreds of comments and it's all just negative and you're wondering where the guy is that's running that ad.
Cool, James. So the next question I have for you is, as you're putting these campaigns together, the next step for people after they've clicked on your ad is where do they go to? So talk to me a little bit about the different landing pages that you're using and testing out, and what are some conclusions that you're drawing?
All right. So when I first created this campaign, there was a couple different pages I tested. One here, I'll just show you the first one here. This page here was a template from Lead Pages. And I just like I like this particular template because I get to ask them a question, which kind of, can frame them in a way. Just gets them thinking about a question and gets them more involved. It's more of like the 2-step opt-in. So I really like this page, so I wanted to test it. And so I ran traffic to this page, and then I also ran traffic to this page, which is also a Lead Pages template. The difference in the two, of course, for this one, I delivered the content right off the bat. So instead of, like if you look at the copy here, you want to see the super simple Facebook ad strategy that can boost your profits. And that ties in perfectly from the ad. But in this case, I just gave the content away. And then at the end, I mentioned that I have something for sale and they can opt in to get it. So 4 minutes of content, 4 minutes of really good numbers, really proving, making my case for retargeting. And then I ask them for the opt-in to then get more information about the $10 report and to learn more about retargeting.
Can you scrub to the end if you have any visual of the call to action that you had at the end of your video?
Sure, right here. And if you want more information about retargeting, or you've never done it, or you're not sure how it works, click the link below this video and opt in to watch another video that explains all about retargeting. It'll give you the basic ideas of how to get started. And you'll also learn about a report that I offer called The Insider's Guide to Retargeting on Facebook. It basically gives you this exact ad that we're using, and it breaks it down, breaks down the psychology, breaks down the whole thing, so you can just implement this immediately. Just copy and paste, implement. And it's on sale for $10 right now. So if you're interested in that, go ahead, opt in, check out that next video. But if you already know what you're doing and you're already good with Facebook ads, absolutely immediately start implementing retargeting campaigns because there's just huge profit in it. So that's it for this video. If you want more information, click the link below, opt in, and I'll see you in the next video.
Fantastic. So I love that this particular video, as you said, this isn't something that's hidden behind an opt-in. This is something you're giving away, and this is called a reverse squeeze. So talk to us a little bit about that concept of reverse squeeze a little bit further.
So this one here, back to this page, I'm asking my visitor for something before I give them something. So it's just like, hey, give me your name and email address, and I'll give you this thing. And that works. So you can get huge opt-in rates, 60, 70%. I have one page actually in my Lead Pages account. 400 opt-ins at 68% conversion rate. It's crazy. So definitely, you can absolutely get insane opt-in rates with these types of pages. This page here, the opt-in rates are a little bit lower, but the reason I like this better is because you get to pre-frame them, you pre-qualify them for your offer. There's two schools of thought. You could get, a 68% opt-in rate and just get thousands and thousands of people on your list, but then you send an offer to that list or send content to that list and it's not very responsive. And again, this is just from my own experience. Everyone has a different story to tell. But so for me, the reverse squeeze page just worked better. It was really all about the numbers for me. When I did the reverse squeeze like this here, where I gave good content first with a call to action, hey, opt in to learn more, the sales conversion rates were a lot higher for me than when I sent people directly to this page. So I stuck with this. Even the very first funnel that I built in 2010 for Facebook, so cold Facebook traffic, This type of funnel worked best in 2010, and it's working best for me now based on just, again, the sheer numbers, just the proof.
You pre-qualify those folks, so those that are joining your list are higher qualified and resulting in more communication in a positive direction, which I love because we do obsess here at Lead Pages with conversion at all levels, right? And sometimes those higher conversion on the subscription base, the response is a higher list growth, but lower conversions on the sales and perhaps lower open rates over time. So all those things come in to be considered. On this page, you've mentioned to me, Facebook is starting to shy away from enjoying pages like this or saying that this is an appropriate page. So what are some of the changes you're making to your landing pages as Facebook continues to modify what they want to see in landing pages from their ads?
They want to see, like if we come down here, absolutely they want to see the disclaimers, privacy policy, things like that, all updated. You can't just steal privacy policies from some other website. I mean, this stuff has to be legit. Contact information, whether it be just a link that says contact and then all the contact information is on that page. They want to see a logo and just that there's some other navigation on the site. So this is my home base. This is my blog. And I've recently started testing traffic to this page right here, which is very similar to the Lead Pages one, but there is at the bottom here a contact link, all the terms. I still could do a better job on this page in terms of maybe adding some text below the video here. A Lead Pages template would be perfect for this, where you can just go in and edit the different fields. And just maybe add more information, really take the information from this video really and write it out below this video. Facebook wants your visitor or their user to immediately understand what that company or what that person is all about.
Let's go back. Thank you for that. That's really helpful. And I love the templates that we have that are PPC ready.
Right.
So, basically what you're telling me is Facebook is starting to have as strict of rules as Google and following the lead of over delivering and over showing and being transparent is what they're looking for in their landing pages.
Correct.
And I also love that you're taking advantage of one of our other features of Lead Pages here by including the functionality of a two-step opt-in on your own website by using an image of your button and connecting that to a lead box. So take me back inside of your dashboard again of your Facebook account and talk to me about some of the other number decisions that you have. We see cost per conversion and we see the different types of results that you're getting. What is going into your mind when you say this is a successful campaign or this is not a successful campaign?
Back to the numbers. It's all about the numbers. I know just based on the sales, I know what each email lead brings me in terms of revenue. I do it by cost per checkout. So if we go into Power Editor here, and I'll just break this one down. I don't think we need to go into that many of them. So off here into the corner, you'll notice that for this ad right here, there's been 41 conversions, $3.22. This is important, but it still doesn't give us the whole story. 132, okay, so $132 spent, 7 checkouts. So I did the math earlier, and that was $18 per checkout. Okay, so I paid $18 to acquire a new customer. You might think, well, if you paid $18 to get a new customer, how much did you earn from that customer? Well, if it's a $10 report, sounds like I'm losing money, right? But I know for every 4th person that buys the $10 report, they're going to buy the $97 upsell, and then I know 15% are going to buy the $197 upsell after that. So for my numbers in particular, for this funnel and this ad right here, I earn a little over $40 per customer. I've talked to a lot of people about Facebook ads, and all they care about are, well, what's your click-through rate? What's your cost per click? What are you spending? What's your optimized CPM cost? 283, 1583. Like those numbers, honestly, I don't look at them. I don't care about them. I don't care anything about what I'm paying per click or anything like that. All I care about is what I'm paying per checkout. But before I can even care about what I pay per checkout, I need to know what I earn overall on the initial customer value per checkout. And in my case, like I said, it's a little over $40. Now, at first, when you're first starting out with Facebook ads, you're not going to know that. So yeah, be prepared to outlay some cash until you get the numbers. So the most important thing I guess I could say here is when you first start with like ads, you're really buying data. You're learning what doesn't work. And sometimes that takes a while. That's just something I think is really important for everyone to understand. You can't just create an ad, spend $100 and go, oh man, that didn't work. Facebook ads don't work. I'm out of here.
Yeah, there's definitely a learning curve. Part of the point of this course is to shorten that, but you will still have that trial and error for yourself of what it's going to take to get that profitability. But I love the focus here. You're not actually even calculating the lifetime value because that's going to be much higher, but at least this funnel value of each customer is $40, which gives you a framework of saying, what can I spend? So for you watching this video right now in this module, I want you to be thinking about, through other sales channels that you have, when you do acquire a customer, what is your revenue over the course of the first day or the first month of that customer's relationship with you, and use that number as the basis for the rest of your decisions. So you can say, well, if I get one customer, they're worth $200 to me. Does that mean that you can spend a certain amount of money per month or per day on your ad spend? Because that's going to be an important part of how frequently you can ramp up and everything else.
Absolutely. When you're starting with all these different campaigns, it's so important that you know your numbers, or at least work toward knowing your numbers. I mean, everyone thinks the goal is turn on ads and make 10 grand a month or 20 grand a month or whatever your goal is and live like a rock star. The goal is to find out what works and what doesn't. And then when you find out what works, you scale the heck out of it. So in this case, like that one ad that I was just on, I think it was the Power Editor one. That one's like the best performing one. But I'll have one down here, this John Loomer Digital, paying $11.84 per conversion. Let's see. Okay, so 2 checkouts for $79. So we're like breaking even on that one. When I first started this campaign, there were sometimes what I did make in terms of profit, like if I spent $13 per checkout on a couple of them, what ended up happening is you're losing on the others. So it's like you're you know what I mean? You're breaking even. So for me, my objective is to get coaching clients. So if we go up to my blog, ultimately, I want people to come to the blog after they've purchased my product, and I send out good content for them to come here, click work with me. For me, the whole purpose of this campaign is to generate really high quality leads that I could bring on as potential clients. You have to have a back end strategy.
Talk to me a little bit about that $10 product. So you have a consulting arrangement, a coaching relationship that you ultimately want to have with your customers. Mm-hmm. Walk backwards for me for those that are having a similar scenario and they don't have a front end product that's $10 or $50 or $100 or whatever. What did you choose as that small piece of actionable content that people would be willing to pay for that serves as a break off point from coaching with you directly?
The piece that I broke off was retargeting. Ultimately, I want to work with you one-on-one to do Facebook ads. The reason I put together a retargeting report is because once you understand it and really start to dive into it, it's the highest ROI from retargeting. I'll just give you the quick 30-second thing on retargeting. If you're already getting traffic to your website, like one of my clients is a retail, sells personalized cake pans. So ultimately has like an e-commerce site. He was already getting tons of traffic from Google and doing a lot of revenue per year. We came in and we set up retargeting ads. That's all we did, just turned on retargeting ads. We've been able to generate 700 new customers for him. Each customer is worth $60, and we paid $5 to acquire each and every one of those 7 customers.
That's awesome.
So the piece that I pulled out, so the advice that we could give anyone listening to this is that's doing a similar thing with one-on-one, offer the thing that can get them the quickest result with the highest return. That's what I did. Because I mean, we could teach Facebook ads, but there's a lot to it. But retargeting is something that's such a high ROI because people already know you, like you, and trust you. They've been exposed to your brand. So it's just the low-hanging fruit. It's an easy fix.
Yeah, and it's actually a pretty easy thing to implement, which surprises a lot of people when they get into it. Right. One of the things I love about that, let's again translate that for you watching. I'm assuming that you're not marketing Facebook advertising on Facebook as what you're doing, but you have some other type of business that you're running. What is that minimum effective dose that you can offer to somebody that gives them a feeling of empowerment, that gets them a feeling of satisfaction, but also says to them, if this is something that I can learn that fast from this person, I'm sure that in that $10 report, you say, here's the answer to the question you asked. Now, here's the other stuff you should be thinking about, and that's where I can help you out. Is that a fair piece of content that's inside of that report?
It's funny that you ask that. Whenever we're putting together stuff like this, these funnels, I've learned over the years to kill the perfection kill the perfectionist in me, get something out there, and then change and alter as we move on. So no, it's not in there. It's strictly retargeting. It strictly talks about how to literally screenshots and everything on how to get retargeting set up. And it gives them actual ad copy, like examples of ads, retargeting ads that they can model. What I'm doing, though, to let people know is that once a week, as you can see on the screen here, I publish a video, good, useful content. Hey, like for this one, how to use Facebook's audience insights to find potential customers. And then at the end of each video, there's a small call to action that says, hey, if you need Facebook marketing help, let's talk. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. So it's kind of like an afterthought, but it's working great.
Whether it's in the content you're selling or it's in the follow-up that you're delivering via email. And I love these blog posts because they continuously engage, and there's not a lot of them, right? Like you're not posting something all the time necessarily, but you are posting them frequently enough, and you have it in your follow-up sequence that it brings people on a journey from first getting to know you and getting to know one answer to the retargeting question, and then continuing on other aspects of what they want to learn about.
Correct. Yep.
Perfect. So my next question for you, James, is about targeting. And there's all kinds of opportunities to target different things about interests and behaviors and location and all kinds of stuff. So talk to me a little bit about what is going through your mind as you're making an ad set when it comes to targeting.
Okay. Yeah, sure. The behaviors is a really powerful one. I talk a little bit about one guy that I work with. He is an e-commerce site, like I said, that sells the pans, right? Personalized cake pans. So for the target, I'm going to go into mine, and then I'll just kind of talk about what I do with mine and then what I did with his as well. So under interest for this one, of course, it's Power Editor, and that's the same name as this ad set. So that's kind of how I break things down. The interest is usually the same ad set name. Then down here for behaviors, you'll see it says Facebook page admins. And there's like 11 million in this group. So my thinking was, if you're a Facebook page admin, you probably know about ads for the simple fact that, Facebook is always putting that little banner on your page, when you're logged in as admin that says, hey, promote your page or create an ad. So that was kind of my thought process behind this. Let's start with the interest of Power Editor. And there may be, like if we see over here, it says 6,400 people. Well, there might be 6,400 people in the Power Editor audience, but then when I add the behaviors of Facebook page admins, then that breaks that audience. It makes that audience even small. For Facebook ads, smaller is better. Everyone thinks, you go, I want a pool of like 20 million people. Well, not unless you have a really huge mass appeal product. That was my logic behind behaviors. But the cool thing about behaviors too, there's a lot of categories such as active credit card user. So it wouldn't hurt for anyone who's creating Facebook ads under behaviors to select active credit card user, especially if you're selling online. That's what I did for the guy who sells the cake pans. We selected baking, and we selected above average spending. And the baking fell under the purchase behavior category.
One thing I really triggered in my brain as you showed this is the Facebook page admins is a very obvious, well, of course that works for you because you're marketing Facebook advertising and consulting. But for any of you watching this video, if you're selling to any business of any kind of service or program or product or coaching or whatever, knowing that you can sort the behavior by Facebook page admin means that you're directly talking to people who are actively involved in their company's marketing, whatever their company is. So don't gloss over the fact that this Facebook page admin could apply to your business if you have a B2B kind of program or service that you offer. That's really awesome. And I love this idea of people who have credit card spending or above average spending, because like you said, if you want to sell online, which generally speaking, someone who's doing Facebook advertising is going to have the result of an online sale. That's a beautiful behavior to narrow down on so that you can just focus on people who are pre-qualified to work with you or to buy your products online.
Definitely two things I wanted to share real quick, because some people may be thinking, well, where do you get these ideas? For instance, this is Power Editor. So for me, that was easy, but you might be like, well, how do I find audiences to target on Facebook? So right over here, when you log into your Ads Manager account, you'll see something called Audience Insights. Such a simple tool, but I'm embarrassed to say that it took me a while to figure it out. I select everyone on Facebook. Location, we're going to use United States. Age, we're going to use any, and then we'll do, I don't know, we'll do men, and we'll do like interest. Let's say I have a golf product. So I'm going to select golf. This is people on Facebook, men 18 to whatever, who like golf. Then you come over here, and this is how I use it. I come over here to page likes. And this top category here, it gives me Golf Channel, NBA on TNT. It gives me golf, PGA.com. Not always, but many times, these right here, these words that you see here, these, categories, these people, Tiger Woods, Bubba Watson, you can plug that into, just start typing that into interests when you're creating your ad, and then you'll be able to create an ad set around Tiger Woods, Rory, you'll be able to, kind of like how I have it structured. So you'll be able to create individual ad sets based on the page likes for these top categories. And then down here, this is actual Facebook pages. So this means you could definitely target golf, Tiger Woods, Sports Center, PGA Tour, ESPN, and then create an ad set for all of these to find out which one of these interests is, more likely to buy your product.
That's really awesome. We could dig into that part all day long.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's household income. There's so much information here about people. And that's interesting because you can then go in and see like home ownership, 57% under behaviors. You can show ads to only to people who own a home. You can go crazy with all this stuff. You can put ads in front of people who are engaged, divorced, single. If you have a weight loss product, for instance, you can really hone in and find exactly who's willing to buy your product. And that's the key with Facebook ads. You want to find the smallest pool of people that are most likely to buy your product. If you have a mass appeal product, go ahead, shoot for females in the United States between 20 and 50, and you'll target 50 million or whatever. And that's all right. But if you're, like you said, B2B, or you're doing something a little more niche, you got to really hone in and find out by testing which of these interests are going to buy your stuff. And then you scale up the ones that convert.
Can you also click on purchase real quick just to show that screen? So I think that's a really eye-opening one as well. Their purchase behavior and what kinds of things they buy.
Sure.
It's a little freaky to me and creepy that Facebook knows this information about so many people, but it's part of the world we live in, and as a business, it's nice to be able to take advantage of that and fine-tune things. And one of the things that I gleaned from your conversation with me here today, James, is that even if you have that large appeal product, or you think you have a large appeal product, it's important to still narrow down your audiences and have multiple very focused audiences, because the ad sets that you run, you can target the language, the imagery, the call to action button, all of that can be targeted towards that small focused group, as opposed to trying to make ads that would appeal to those larger audiences. And then you just run multiple ad sets that make each individual ad appeal to that narrow group, but in combination, you really address that larger market in a very focused and profitable way.
Yes, exactly.
So speaking of creating a ton of ads,
Yep.
One of the things that annoys me about Facebook ads is the tediousness of creating multiple ads and ad sets and all that stuff, especially if we want to get as nitty gritty and narrow focused as possible with multiple audiences. So you revealed to me before we started talking on this video that you have a secret weapon to create ads a little bit faster. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it really is a time saver. I'll just click over here. It's called Waya. It looks similar to the Facebook ads interface. I could spend hours going through this. I won't, but they do have templates that once you create an ad, you can just click right here, and it brings up all of the stuff that you put in before. So the post link, the post text, the headline, the description, and then your different images. So if you notice, I have two headlines. There are two post text, 4 images. If I click create, it just created 8 ads. Then I go over to the targeting. Let's go to this screen. Now this is where the time saving happens. So you can plug in all your states that you want to target, the locations or countries, I should say. Well, heck, you could get down to state and city as well. If you click split, what'll happen is you'll notice at the very bottom here, I know it's super tiny, but it says splits into 4 segments. Those segments are an ad set. And if I just click the button now and created it, we'd have 4 ad sets, one for United States, one for United Kingdom, one for Canada and Australia. Same thing over here. I've put in all of these interests right here. If I click split, now we come down to the bottom. Now it's going to create 92 segments with probably 8 ads in each one. Purchase behaviors, same idea. You can click browse. And really, this is all pulled from Facebook. Their API is just pulling all of this information in from Facebook. So if I go to like digital activities, we have online spenders, active. We have, just endless amounts of different things for behaviors in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click use. So now it went in and created those 92 ad sets automatically. Now I click publish ads, and you'll notice over here, I'm not going to do it, but it says generate 736 ads, each of them nicely organized in their own little ad set. You click a button, it does its magic, and then when you come back to your account, and then you'll see each ad set created, and then inside each ad set you'll have those ads. This would take you to create 93 ads. It would take you, it would take you hours to create 90.
It's like at least 5 minutes per ad, at least at a minimum, right?
Yeah, and if I would have just clicked the button, 736 ads would be created in a matter of 2 minutes here. I'm done for the day. The ads are going to get uploaded. They're going to get approved. They're going to get turned on, and you're good to go. And you can even go even deeper, track settings. If you have your conversion pixels, it pulls that in so you can select conversion goal, whether it be leads and customers. Google Analytics tracking, it adds the UTM source at the end and fills in all of this information.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And basic settings, again, you do the campaign name. The ad prefix here is going to be the ad set. If I typed in A, you can see there, I'll say A, win, AU / smart passive income with Pat Flynn. So it puts everything in its own ad set. You set the budget for each individual ad set. Then you select whether you want to use, CPC, CPM, optimized CPM, or the Facebook pixel. And then you just click the button, hit publish, boom, 700 ads are created, lightning speed.
Real quickly, your bid options, which do you prefer to use? We've been having different viewpoints and opinions, and I'd love to hear what yours is.
From my experience, the difference between like cost per click and then optimized CPM from the pixel is that I get more traffic when I select optimized CPM. Once you get some conversions on your tracking pixel and then you select optimized CPM, Facebook will try to go out there in the audience and the interest that you've selected and match from that pool those that have already converted on that pixel. That works really well. So some rule of thumb, like Quaya, actually, if you read through their documentation, they'll tell you to start with CPC, use a conversion pixel though, but start with CPC until you get at least 25 conversions. So once you get 25 checkouts, so 25 sales, then you could redo your campaign, select optimize CPM, and then if you pull this drop down, it'll give you a like right here where it says retargeting guide customers. They basically have a list of people that have become a customer.
And then when you put in the USD value here, are you putting that in based on your customer value or the amount of money you're willing to spend?
For me, when I'm first starting a new campaign, because I have, let's say, so many different ad sets, let's just say, 30 or 40 different ad sets, I'll set the budget low because it's per ad set. So $10, it's going to spend 92 times 10. So we're going to spend, $920 altogether, but only $10 per ad set. And it doesn't take long to separate the wheat from the chaff. So you can see literally within a day or so which ones are converting because it's such a small budget per ad set. To answer your other question, the optimized CPA, this is what you have to put a price in based on what you're willing to pay for a conversion. I usually select leads and then I type in the default, which is 30. It's not like with CPC. If you can get a conversion for $1, they'll give you a conversion for $1. They're not going to spend 30 just because you said you're willing to spend 30. So I always set that to 30. If you set it any lower, just because you're scared or whatever the heck, if you're like, well, I only want to pay, $3 a lead, they may not send traffic to that ad set or to any of these ads. Kind of like if you bid too low on CPC, they won't send the traffic.
Cool. That's a great tip. And again, know your numbers so that 30 to you, $40 is what you're looking for ultimately. What we're finding in-house here at LeadPages as well is a very similar process where we trust that Facebook is doing everything it can to keep you as an advertising customer and wants to deliver the kinds of traffic that's going to result in sales. Well, James, I loved the exploration of that really awesome tool, and I can't wait to explore that for our business as well. I don't think that we've been using that particular system. Is there any question that I have not asked you that you think that new Facebook advertisers or frustrated Facebook advertisers should know as they proceed forward in marketing their business?
Yeah, I think the only thing we really didn't talk about is more of like the funnel optimization in terms of the upsell sequence. Because when I first started this retargeting campaign, I had a $47 upsell. The first upsell was $47. And it was not converting very well. So I was struggling to break even. So I redid that video added some more value, added a couple of bonuses, and raised the price to 97, and the conversion rate doubled.
Fantastic.
So the conversion rate doubled, and then the sales quadrupled because of it. That's important. If you're looking at your numbers and you're like, I can only earn $50 from a customer because that's all I have. I have one product at $50. But man, it's costing me $75 to get a customer. I'm losing 25. This won't apply to everybody, but if you're doing digital marketing type things, the focus isn't so much to rack your brain on how you can make those Facebook ads better. The easiest, quickest thing you can do is tweak the upsell, add an upsell. You'll see amazing results by just doing that. And one of the quickest things that I learned from working with Brian is my $97 upsell is really just the video version of the report along with a bonus Facebook ads training. So you don't have to go crazy racking your brain on, do I need another product for my upsell? Well, yeah, it's ultimately going to be a product, but it doesn't have to be like this entire brand new thing that you create from scratch. It literally could just be a different format of the current thing that you're selling.
That's a really great tip. We've seen a lot of success in that better format upsell and having the same kind of material and just going either more in depth or even just presenting it in that different way. Transcripts from audio or taking a report and turning it into a video walkthrough of what would normally be just a series of screenshots or text.
Right.
So I love that tip. It's really cool.
Yeah, it made a huge difference. And then for me, I still wasn't happy. So I added third upsell at $197, and that thing really put it over the edge. So I'm able to scale. What you'll find with Facebook ads, you'll get to a point when you're really trying to scale it up, and you can hit that part where you were spending, let's say in my case, like right here, $5 a conversion, ramp up the traffic to 5,000 a day. And then all of a sudden that cost per conversion jumps up to $15. So a higher amount that you can earn allows you to scale faster and larger.
Very cool. Well, James, thanks so much for jumping on the call with me and going so in depth inside of your personal dashboard of your business. Where can people find out more about you and the kinds of additional Facebook knowledge that you've got in your skull?
Yeah, that'd be great. Just my blog at jamesgrandstaff.com.
So head over to jamesgrandstaff.com, and I would love for you to take a look at what James is doing, not just on his Facebook ads, so you can model that, but also what is he doing for the content he continues to deliver to his audience. On his blog, you'll see the ad that says, would you like to see the stupid, simple Facebook ad strategy? And then go through the process just like your Facebook subscribers would do as they were to have clicked through the ad. And see what James does, and take a look, see what you like, and then apply that to your business in a way that makes sense to you. James, thanks so much for jumping on this call for me and teaching our audience such in-depth, geeked out numbers and all. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, you're welcome. It's been great.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Bob, take care.
Now, before you go on to the next module, make sure you've downloaded the materials I've created for you to ensure your Facebook advertising success. Simply click on the button below to download all the videos, audios, handouts, and the Facebook advertising system mind map. Just enter in your email address and let me know where we can send those files to your inbox. And when you're ready, go ahead and jump into the next module, and I'll lead you further down the path of growing your business with Facebook advertising and lead pages.